welcome back to Severna. So it is now January 1979. You've just seen there the few updates that I've done so far. So I've got the railway production yard yonder, which is section 5. The last video, this area was designated as section 3 in the videos, but it's actually section 4, sector 4 or section 4, whatever you prefer. But it is actually sector 4, not sector 3. Sector 3 had already been constructed over here in East Alcázar. We've seen there, we are expanding the steel mill. So at the moment I've just got this teeny little steel mill because it's all I could afford to plan out and build at the time. It's all I could afford at the time, so this only produces 12 tons of coal. This only produces 12 tons of steel per day, so that's really not ideal. With the introduction of the railway production factory, etc., that will need some more steel. I have built up a little bit of a reserve since the construction of Sector 4, which used quite a lot of steel, and also the railways, the railway lines as well for central of Alcázar have cost me a lot of steel, and also the underground piping, the oil pipe, which saw in the last video, runs all the way from the oil fields. I mean, essentially it is one network. It's from the oil fields all the way up here in East 3 sector and East 2, or just the oil fields. So they come down here, and the first thing they encounter is this tank, which is the national supply. So this feeds into the power stations, the heating plants, and that's all that serves. So that's vital infrastructure. And then once that tank is full, it then spills over into the secondary, much larger tanks, which hold 10,000 tons of fuel, and that's what fuels our refineries, which seem to have. And so you go. You also go. So that's loading up fuel. Could do with an extra pumping harbour, really, or these actually need to ensure that one of them at least loads fuel all of the time. So we've got a lot of bitumen to export, but we've obviously lost production because the fuel that is produced cannot be exported quick enough, which I suppose that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think my money has more or less completely flatlined over the past couple of years. Where can I see just the money? So all, yeah, so you see we are pretty much, the economy's stayed relatively good, or very good indeed, since the early days. So this is the initial investment that Severna cost initially. So that's 7,150,000 rubles and $1.09 million. And I think that's vehicles imports, because I do like Western vehicles. So that was the initial investment. Then since then we have always been in the green. The economy has been more or less fine, and that is the human economy and the monetary economy as well, because we are at 99% happiness, increasing at 0.03, and we've got a government loyalty of 49%. So 50% of the population of Severna are pretty evangelical and what's the word? Evangelical and what's the word? fanatical about living on Severna, as it is an amazing, wonderful, beautiful place to live, where everybody is treated fairly and everybody knows their place in the society, and no one is sold false promises that turn out not to be true when they come to need them. So we are now, like I say, we're in January 1979. Let's see how the development goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm more or less going to just play the game. I might have to speed up more boring things, but I'm just going to try and just show you how I do lots of videos showcasing Severna, but not really show the process that it takes to get there. I'm not very good at explaining what I'm doing. I tend to get lost in my own head. Anyone who's been watching my channel for any length of time can tell that. I always get sidetracked, get bored, move on, get distracted. It's 100 different things that usually happens. But this Republic, I think I have really tried to keep the videos pretty coherent from one to the next. Obviously, I know that's not always true. And yeah, please let me know in the comments down below what you would do maybe to improve my videos, improve my work process, or just let me know. Obviously, please be kind, but I'm not afraid of general criticism. Helpful criticism, and don't just be mean. Okay, so the plan for 1979 into 1980, I'm going to try and get train production on the go, because I need to. At the moment, there's only one train. Where is it? This one that's going around the circle line in the middle, and I want to get at least one going in each direction. So I need to introduce at least one more train, and also need more trains for distribution in the future. At the moment, I'm doing all right with just the trains that I have distributing things, because obviously we've only got 45,000 people in the Republic at the moment, so they don't need that many resources. We've not got a lot of production really going on, but I probably will need another train for when the steel mill comes online. Steel mill comes online to export the surplus from the factories. I also, in the near future, I also want to get chemical production on the go, because in our advanced manufacturing at Compass Site 1, which is just the factory that has the plastics, mechanical components, electronics, and electronic components, at the moment I can't produce. I haven't got any chemicals at the moment. I'm having to import everything. Surge tank overflowing. Right. Okay. Yeah, I see. So it's the Severna planning department has been very short-sighted and has not connected this area to the sewer network. It's not all bad though, because there is a sewer pipe going directly underneath the site, so this will be a relatively quick fix. So first of all, plan where it's going to go. It's going to go here, but I just want to remove this bit of track. I did have a cargo station here to supply the train yard, the train factory, with resources, but it's got a railway line going through it, and it just meant that I had to connect a big line going, and I thought there's no point in it being there really, so I can put that where that was planned to go. So that was here, so we'll just remove some pipe to give us somewhere to put the tank in. So I'm just going to use one of the smaller sewage pumps. So connect that there, connect that to there, and then we'll put, let's have a look at how efficient we can be. So that will gives wastewater removal for all of both sides of the track there, so we've just one. And it will leave us some extra spaces for in the future if we need to change anything. Now, as this is vital infrastructure that is required immediately, that it's something that I should have done when I built the site, I will use the cash to build it. So there we go. Dush, dush, dush. That's pretty much filled up immediately. But now we can see, so we've got no steel. That's why that's not producing nothing. And that is why the steel mill is being expanded. I'm not sure how long it will take to build. Probably at least 6 months, especially with these two big factories being built at the same time. But who knows? See, there's only the one train here, chugging round. So I think at the moment most people now are going here to work. Yes, they are, which is good. That's what I want. And I think what I'll do is I'll extract trains. I'm going to make Severna a leader in vehicle exports because of its location in the North Sea, being a high value goods exporter, considering the resources that Severna has on it. The fact that I don't want loads of mines everywhere. People wouldn't want that. I don't destroy the natural beauty of this windswept volcanic rock. And that's why so far I've planned, I'm just going to try and keep one massive city and then maybe a few sort of small specialist towns dotted out. But I do also want to move into growing Severna's own food. I'm going to go with the irrigated circle farms because I think that an island like this, that's what it would have. So we've got these circular farms here. We're going to see how much luck I can get with those because I think, like I say, those would be more realistic than large conventional fields across Severna, as the soil here isn't too great. So I'll probably need to begin manufacturing fertilizers as well. The reason I've sort of got this cluster of buildings and development over here and this big gap and then development over here is that I always think it's better and easier if you kind of, especially a big urban area like this, you don't just start one area and build out from one point because it tends to create bottlenecks as much as you try and avoid them. Whereas with this, we've got one of everything basically supplying this side, and then this side more or less has its own infrastructure. It has it doubled, except for a major power plant, as we do at the moment only have the one major power plant, which is this oil plant here, but it's reached 60%, which means that that is a limit at which I do tend to start building another power plant. And what have we just done? We've just built a large pipeline that goes right the way across the Republic, all the way from over there over to here. So I've put in a large voltage exchanger, well, voltage switch rather, here. So we'll be able to build a power plant, connect it via just one onto this, which will continue, and then the net, which will then help that power plant through powering at least this side, because this side will be the main primary responsibility of the new power plant. So then all the development that will one day happen here will be more or less powered, at least in part, by a power station that will be built here. Because I think what I'm going to do is this entire quadrant here will be completely urbanized, with farms and fields and maybe some factories going on this bit, and try and keep most of the northern side of the island natural, really. But there are blobs of resources up there. So we've got uranium ore, which is over here, so probably there will be some nuclear shenanigans going on over there. And then we've also got some aluminium up in the north, so there'll probably be a small bit of aircraft manufacturing going up that side of the island. But as far as all like complete development, that will be the southern this southern plane. I'll just slowly creep across across there, and we'll that's the plan anyway, but we'll see. So we've got our new blocks of flats. I'm not too sure about these buildings, so I've set it so that citizens can't move in until they're built. So I don't know what they're going. These ones, I'm more at the edge. The ones at the edges are I'm more or less happy. I know what they're going to look like, but I'm not sure what these are going to look like. And if they're really, really dark, then they will be demolished. Because at the moment they're unhoused. So we have managed to bring that. Remember when we checked the population in the last video, the unemployment was well higher than 13, but that's now luckily come down. I've got 4,200 unemployed people. So we've got 390 over 21-year-olds waiting, 391 now, 390 again, over 21-year-olds without their own flat, but these buildings will happily accommodate them with that if they are of standard for the Republic. But I will need to see what they look like once they're built. I really wish there was a better way to view the buildings in the game, like, you know, like a building viewer or something. I mean, there probably is one actually, Kieran, thinking about it, but yeah. And I wish that when you're selecting the modded buildings or whatever, that it shows you which ones allow you to change the skin of the building and which ones don't. That would be handy. That would be handy, yeah. So here's the Severna television. Let me just rename that now. Actually, now it's built. So what? SMTV. Also has a problem with its sewers, so let's address that. I can see exactly why they have a problem with their sewers. Where's the best vat? If I put it here, I can go with that. Ah, yeah, there's the tank. That's vital infrastructure, so let's get that built straight away. Moskva. I imagined that not having the sewers keeps the actors and the moderators away, but now hopefully that will be addressed. Oh, got one actor. Whee! But it's early days. The Republic is only 10 years old at this stage, so they're looking very dark. They are looking very dark. Yeah, I'm demolishing them. I'll do. So I'll put one of these in. Only the two short ones, I think. Because it's going to be too far right towards the edge of the city to have anything too tall. Oh, they're not going to fit in there because of the path in the middle. Well, they'll fit separately. I'll just do that. And I'll do two. So that building just by itself should be, I mean, how many have got them now? It'll just be going up and up and up. Yeah, 400 now. So that little one holds 218 and the big one holds 398. So just those two buildings by themselves should be more than enough to house Severna's young people. And with that's not including the other buildings that are already nearly built. Okay, so that was January 1979. We are now in the 4th of February. So I'll leave it there and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.